were strolling hand in hand. Tomorrow the war would take him. He vowed he would be true. And from her dress she gave to him a bunch of violets blue. 'Twas only a bunch of violets, a bunch of violets blue. Fresh and fair and fragrant, like diamonds on the dew. Fresh and fair and dainty, as he pressed them to his heart. He smiled and said, where'er you go, from there he never part. As soldier boy lay dying upon the cold, cold ground, a bunch of withered violets upon his breast were found. Turning to his comrade in a clear voice he cried, take him back and tell her that I bore them till I died. They took away
Stories, heroes are green now, the passing tale of glory that once was Dublin town. The hallowed hall and houses, the haunting children's rhymes that once was Dublin city in the rare old times. Now my invitation Dempsey, a Dublin as can be, born Hannah Lake in Grimnago, in a house that seems to be. By trade I was a goofer, lost out to redundancy, like my house that fell to progress, by trade and memory. Ring a ring a rosary, as the light declines, I remember a destiny in the rare old times.
7 brothers I had, and sisters I have 4, and the memories are with us today, of the fun that we shared, the laughter and song, and the stories that brightened our day, of times at night when the neighbours would call to talk of events of the day, and it would not be long before the laugh of the sun, corn cake and the hot mother day, someone to welcome you home from away, wherever in life you may roam, a light in the window, a fire burning bright, a smile and a warm welcome home.
and recited wondrous stories of his exploits far and near. Sing an Irish song, said Kelly, best of order now, one and all. So Moriarty sang for them, the hills of Donegal. There was cheering at the finish, and they called, encore, encore. But Moriarty said, listen lads, I can't sing any more. As he stood there sad and silent, and he gazed into his beer, and in his eyes there started the glistening of a tear. Are you going home for Christmas? The kindly barmaid said. Moriarty fixed his gaze on her and slowly shook his head. Sure, I hadn't been to Ireland now for 20 years or more. My mother would hardly know me if I walked up to the door. I was born, said Moriarty, on an island off the west, the last place God created, but the first place that he blessed. We were poor, but we were happy in our humble little way. Oh, to be a boy again and live my youthful days. My father, God be good to him, was drowned one woeful night, and my mother left all lonesome, and myself to work and fight. So with Donald Roux McCarthy and me Hall O'Shea, we came across to England to earn a better pay. I told my dear old mother that I'd soon be home again, but the curse of drink enslaved me, but the curse of drink toward me and enslaved me in its chain. So I hadn't been to Ireland now for 20 years or more, but I know she's still there waiting for my footsteps at the door. Then someone started singing, see amid the winter snow. Sure, 'twas like an old bell ringing far away and long ago. Moriarty stood and listened, and he pushed his glass away, and he made a solemn promise that he'd go home for Christmas Day. So he gathered every penny he could get into his hand, and coming up to Christmas, he sailed for Ireland. Oh, his heart was filled with gladness, and he felt content at last, as the train rolled through the Midlands and headed to the west. In the village of Kinsheela that night upon the shore, far across the deep blue ocean, he saw his island home once more. Oh, the stars were shining brightly, sure they glistened like a dome, on that little whitewashed thatched cottage that was Moriarty's home. 'Tis a grand night for the sailing, said the boatman Thomas Bawn. Moriarty didn't know him, for he'd been away too long. As they climbed into the body, the boatman heard him say, thank God in heaven, I'll be home for Christmas Day. In a little room in London, Moriarty's poor abode, on a table in the hallway, a letter was unread. The letter said, Dear Danny, your poor mother has passed away. She'll be buried in Kinsheela after Mass on Christmas Day.
And it was a debating competition between Ballylongford and Lickshna, I always think of it. And you'd have the speech prepared, like, and what you would say and all the rest, but there was a young fellow from the Lickshna team anyway. He was about 20, maybe, or younger. And he got cut for words in the middle of his debate anyway. And I think he said, I better tell you a yarn in the middle of the whole thing, so it was fine anyway. I remember Robert Pearce and Mrs. Keane and a few people were the judges of the debate anyway, but he told this yarn anyway, and it stayed in my mind ever since. And at the time, things were kind of straight-laced, you know, it was a smart little bit, kind of, what would we say, wouldn't be to be frowned upon, we put it that way anyway. But anyway, he was telling the story, this young fellow went up to Dublin from Rural Ireland, and he went up to St. Patrick's College in Duncan anyway, to train as a teacher. So when he was above anyway, he got filled with zeal for what the change he'd make when he come down to Rural Ireland. And he was looking around him anywhere above, and he put a whole lot of things at the back of his mind when he got teaching that he'd introduce into the curriculum. So he came down anyway, and he got a country school here in North Kerry, and he was given 4th class to teach anyway. No class, he said, the first morning he was into them. What I'm going to teach you out of the books now, he said, but as regards English, maths and all the rest of it, he said, is very important. But side by side with that, he said, there's also other things in life that you need to know and you need to watch if you want to get ahead. And one of them, he said, is powers of observation and to build on what you, as you go through your day, and build on what you see and the moves you should make. Now, for instance, he said, Moriarty, he said, tell me, he said, based on what your father was doing this morning when you were coming to school, what do you think he was going to be doing for the rest of the day? The man thought, well, sir, he said, he's gone whitewashing the yard. That's very good, Moriarty, he said. Tell the class now, he said, why you think your father was going whitewashing the yard. Well, he sent me into Mickey Wallace yesterday, he said, for a stone of a lime. And he had a whitewash bush out yesterday evening washing it. And there's a station coming up in a fortnight's time, he said. So I'm quite sure he's going whitewashing the yard today. That's very good, Moriarty, he said. That's exactly what I want to bring out. So he went on to the next one anyway. No, Murphy, he said, based on what your father was doing, he said, this morning you come home from school, what do you think he's going to be doing for the day? He's going to the bog, sir. Very good, Murphy, he said, tell the class why you think he's going to the bog. Because yesterday evening my mother baked an apple pie and he was chopping in the slab and he got the pie ready and she was packing the basket this morning at 11 for school and I'm quite sure he's going to the bog. That's very good, he said. No, he said, Lynch, he said, based on what your mother was doing this morning, he said, what do you think she's going to be doing for the rest of the day? She's going hiking, sir. Oh my God, Lynch, he said, that's a strange one, Lynch, are you sure that? Oh, I am, sir, he said, I am, sir. And there's a house to live there and she's a lot to do. She's going hiking, sir, I'm quite sure. Right, Lynch, he said, tell the class why you think your mother is going hiking today. Because she got up this morning, sir, threw her corset at my father and said, God bless you, Jackie, I'm for the road again.